one on radio. Welcome aboard. I hope you had a very wonderful weekend. This is a brand new week and the Monday edition. Today we start with something very, very controversial and very serious because this is how it starts before it gets into a mountain of other problems. Okay, so today we'll take our searchlight to KANO State. In KANO, a very, very ugly incident is taking place and is beginning to take shape of something that will become a bigger problem. Recall that in KANO, there is the HISBAH police. There is a Sharia law that is implemented. The HISBAH police is supposed to be the people saddled with the responsibility of enforcing and checkmating the Sharia law amongst the Muslim people in KANO. Of recent, these HISBAH police have started extending such police work to Christians. In a situation and a time where Nigeria is suffering and trying to deny Christian genocide in Nigeria, and this is happening. So at the end of the day, a 15-year-old girl, Umi is her name, a 15-year-old girl, was reportedly arrested by the HISBAH police. She is a Christian girl. Whatever she did or whatever happened, nobody has been able to ascertain what her crime was. Umi Tambaya, they said she was kidnapped. From being kidnapped, after they found out that she was held by the HISBAH police refused to release the girl up to this very moment. We're talking 20,000 from a bereaved family claiming that they needed fuel for their car to move to the HISBAH police headquarters at Rogo, local government area of KANO State, where this girl was held hostage. 15-year-old girl, by law, can she be detained? Instead of putting her in a juvenile center, they're putting her in a detention center of the Muslim religion, and she is a Christian. So what concerns the HISBAH police and this young girl? So that is another very big issue. But my major source of concern is the law that establishes the HISBAH, the law that establishes Sharia, the Nigerian law. Now the HISBAH, after the police came there trying to enforce her release to them, they said no, because they are not under Nigerian law. And they are not subject to Nigerian police. That begs the question, Sharia law versus Nigerian law, which one supersedes? Which one should every Nigerian follow? What should be the guiding principle for everybody that calls himself a Nigerian, whether Christian or Muslim? Now that is the issue. With Nigeria being a secular state, not a religious state, why are we operating through laws? And this controversy has been raging on and on and on for God knows how long. Since the beginning of the Fourth Republic, the Sharia law was introduced by the Zamfara governor, then Yerima. At the end of the day, this law is supposed to be made for Muslims. Why are they now beginning to target Christians in the midst of denial of Christian persecution and Christian genocide in Nigeria? So this is another one of those reasons why the Western world and the Christian community are shouting Christian genocide. And what should the Nigerian government do? A lot to talk about on this particular matter. And this morning, we bring you the details of that story. And of course, we analyze what it takes for all this to happen. And to help me do this, we had to get a legal practitioner that will help us differentiate between the Sharia law and the Muslim law and what is happening and what the Nigerian police should be doing by the law. Can HISBAH police tell the police that we will not release somebody and it does happen? Can the Nigerian police arrest a Sharia HISBAH police? These and many more we'll find out. And this morning to help us get clarification and answers to our questions, Barrister Ihejirika Emeka is in the building. Good morning to you, Barrister. Welcome to Straight Talk.
Nah, this your greeting be like Sharia greeting. Good morning. Happy New Week.
Barrister, good morning to you and welcome. Well, this is a very serious matter. A lot of people are beginning to wonder what is going on. Every day, one new story that takes us to a higher low. Because if the Christian community is now being ruled by Sharia, well, Islamization has become is no longer new to Nigeria. I also make bold to say this is how Turkey became a Muslim country. This is how even Iran became a Muslim country. They start like this and then they spread it around. And now insecurity is going on and on and on in the name of Islam. And then this is happening. Recall, we also had a similar story like this at the seat of power in Abuja. But the funniest thing is that the Nigerian government has not reacted to any of this in a strong way to make sure that the Nigerian constitution supersedes whatever. So in this case, does the Nigerian constitution supersede that of the Sharia constitution? That is the question we are going to be answering this morning. So call your friends, call your enemies, because this is a program you don't want to miss. We need to get to the root of this matter. We want everybody, whether Christian, Muslim, please call and tell us exactly what the situation is. Should this be allowed to continue holding a 15-year-old girl who is not even supposed to be in any way spoken to by the Sharia court? If she has committed a crime, what you do is to hand it over to the police. And the police will know what to do because they believe in the secular law. As the Nigerian police and the HISBAH law are they colluding, these are loads and loads of questions. All right, let's begin. But before we go into all that, as usual, we are going to take a look at what the papers are saying this morning. And of course, it's always a pleasure to be with you. Let's go over to the newspaper review, headlines, and analysis. Don't touch that dial. We will be right back after this timeout. All right, our first point of call will be our local papers this morning. We start off with the Star Post Express. On the Star Post Express this morning, Tinubu, Nigeria's most courageous president, Senator Ifeanyi Ararume, is speaking. He's saying Tinubu is Nigeria's most courageous president. Do you agree with that? He says he deserves second term to consolidate his achievements. That is the gospel according to Senator Ifeanyi Ararume, who has been a serious contester for the position of governor Imo State. Tinubu for Better Nigeria congratulates Dr. Ambassador Kema Chikwe at 79. Wow, Kema Chikwe is 79 years, and she's still radiating beauty. Wow, nice one. Okay. Barrister, what do you make of this one? Tinubu is the most courageous president. Well, that could be true because it takes a lot of courage for you to do what Tinubu is doing to Nigeria and his policies.
If he hasn't mustered enough courage to tackle banditry, to tackle what especially Islamic militants are doing on the plateau, parts of Benue, Taraba, and the rest, then I don't wonder where the courage is coming from. And Senator Ifeanyi Ararume is in APC. President Bola Tinubu is of APC extraction.
Okay.
So definitely he will. He praises on the president. So if the praise is coming from, say, the academia, the business community, the rest, then we can now have a second look. But this is coming from APC to APC.
Well, but Tinubu courageously he did what others failed to do, like subsidy removal. No matter how the application went,
has subsidy actually been removed? Because there are still stories of money being budgeted, paid in to something that looks like subsidizing.
All right. Now, with all that said, apart from this particular subsidy removal, it takes a lot of courage to do what Tinubu is doing.
Like?
Against the wishes of Nigerians. Like, of course, we have this tax that is coming up, training of our anthem, all those things. He does them without looking back at what people will say or how it's going to affect people. Well, he sticks to his beliefs and he's been doing. Don't you think that takes a lot of courage?
Well, the only thing is that when you are when you're the president, you can do anything. Obasanjo did even things that are more courageous, like giving out Bakassi. You know how it is for you to give out a part of the country to other countries, to another country. So what I'm actually saying is that I don't see any courage there, any courage that is not beneficial to the country cannot be interpreted as being any act that is not beneficial to the country and the citizens.
So what do you call
of the
that?
country. Well, you can. That's his own interest. You see, somebody can have. Somebody can do something that the person knows will be of his own interest. Because let me tell you, the tax implementation is being done now. It's being done now. That's my own take. It's being done now because he is not sure of re-election. So it's better that tax is implemented in 2026 in case the untoward, the unexpected happens in 2027. So I wouldn't call that courage. Changing that our national anthem to the former national anthem, probably most of his generation have not been at home with this Arise or Compa. They have not been at home with it at all. So this is an opportunity to get even and at least, yes. So right. I don't see it as courage.
All right. Well, what do you mean? Do you see this as courage? Let's leave that story out for our listeners. Uzodimma splashes 600 million naira and families of fallen heroes amid Armed Forces Remembrance Day. APC stalwarts Akagburu Onye charges politicians, businessmen to respect agreements and human lives. Agreement is agreement. I hope it's not the kind of wicked kind of agreement. All right, let's move on now to the national dailies. We start up with a Nation newspaper, recapitalization. 20 banks in race to escape CBN hammer. All right, ICPC files charges against Ozoeme over ownership of Useni's UK house. This has become, Ozoeme is one of the most respected lawyers in Nigeria. How did he find himself in this kind of mess?
I don't know.
Where forgery is now part of it, the papers, documentation and all that Useni bought a house in London using a proxy name, is it Tali or something? Usman Tali. And that name never existed anywhere on NIN, on anything. Then you begin to wonder, as at that time there was no NIN, so how did they come about using NIN and all this line registration to look at a name? As when Jeremiah Useni was the FCT minister and the military general as at that time. How on earth did they come about this? But then it started with a report by Sahara reporters, and these people are always unearthing things that are very, 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 very strong. But definitely, Ozoeme is in the mess now. He's been charged with forgery. He's been charged with concealing and other things. He will be taken to court. Now, one of the lawyers who stood with Tinubu is now under scrutiny. Does that show impartiality on the part of Tinubu?
Ozoeme has never been...
He was part of the legal team for President Bola Tinubu during the presidential election.
Yeah, but he has not. I don't know if he was. I can't remember.
He was. I can tell you. He was.
Yeah, but he hasn't really been, quote unquote, an APC lawyer. That is an APC compliant lawyer.
Okay.
He hasn't been. But you see, this thing exposes the rot in the system. Yeah, it didn't start today. A whole lot of the country's resources have been wasted. Okay, look at these are resources from here that have been used to purchase houses in the UK using proxies, and it happens all the time. Anyway, we don't know what happened. What will happen? Lawyers are finding it. Some lawyers are finding it rather funny about the jurisdiction, the assumption of jurisdiction. That something happened in London and is being tried here. But then I think
there's also an investigation by the London courts, and they found out that the house was actually bought by Jeremiah Useni.
Okay, but why can't Jeremiah Useni come out and, if the funds with which he used to buy the house was clean?
The house was also sold to Ozoeme using forgery document, according to the prosecutors of that particular case. I think I read through that case very well, and I have detailed information on that. But definitely go read that message and then get to know what's going on with that. Works Minister David Umahi has said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has broken the jinx of failed road contracts in the Southeast. He also expressed satisfaction with the construction handling the Enugu-Onitsha Road for doing a good job. That is Dave Umahi now singing the song of praise. He's saying Tinubu has ended Southeast Road nightmare, says Umahi. But is there any comment on that?
That Enugu-Onitsha Road is always in the budget every year. Finish the road, they will not finish the road. It's always in the budget. You see, sorry, I'm not trying to be skeptical here. But, you know, what they do in this country have turned some of us into skeptics. Like, you know, he's now, as you are a radio marshal, he's now a road marshal. Because he is
a professor in practice.
Because he is rehabilitating one or two roads. And when you ask of the cost of the road, you have problems with him. I don't know, but let's see how it goes.
Anyway, don't turn yourself to Rufai Oseni of Arise TV that will say we want cost per kilometer.
Yes, but wait,
cost per kilometer. Who does that?
In Senate climbs, that is what it's supposed to be. Is it supposed to be a state secret? The amount of money used to construct a road. Is it not appropriated? Are these monies being used on these roads not appropriated? Because if they are not appropriated, then it's a crime. Somebody is committing a crime somewhere. It must be appropriated. That's the law of what the law of the land says.
All right. Well, we're still on the Daily Post newspaper. Now we have Atiku Sanaba expelled over defection to APC. Well, that story expelled from the Atiku support group. He has been expelled from that group. Fubara impeachment plot, suspend Rivers lawmakers now. Ono urges APC. And of course, why Kaduna will support Tinubu's re-election. Ubasani, that is the governor of Kaduna State, and crisis hit Bauchi ADC. Gang. Barrister, crisis now ADC in Bauchi. And the ADC chairman is denying removal and alleges move to factionalize the party in Bauchi State.
Yeah, it's human beings who make up ADC in Bauchi now. So wherever human beings are, there must be disagreement. But what makes people matured is the ability to resolve disagreement. ADC as a party is made up of human beings. So if they have issues there, I'm of the ADC extraction now. And the man...
I saw the post you made that you have formerly left the Labour Party.
Yes, I left the Labour Party because I went into the Labour Party in the first place because P2B left PDP to Labour Party, so we followed him. Now, the issue is that we left Labour Party, I think on the 31st of December when our national leader, P2B, left for ADC. So what I'm saying is that ADC has capable hands. That's why you are seeing the party like...
So if they are now factionalizing it in ADC, in Bauchi State, is it not a matter of time before it's spread around the country?
Well, it's going to be resolved because it's even better the factionalization is occurring in the state so that the national can step in. In fact, if the two of them fails to agree, there are provisions in the ADC constitution which say that the national can dissolve everybody and appoint new people.
That's the ADC constitution, you
mean? The ADC constitution, yes.
All right. Well, we see what happens that in Niger State, Papari students' parents groan amid uncertainty as schools remain shut. Remember the Papari students who were kidnapped some time ago in Niger State, 2 months after teaching and learning remained paused in Papari's Niger State with St. Mary's Catholic School under lock and key. So with this now, is it not same thing, same old, where at the end of the day, the bandits have achieved their aim, education is no longer going on there?
Yeah, but that's when you're talking of courage, the courage of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And then I'm wondering, because the truth is that large parts of Kwara State, Niger states hitherto are affected by banditry, are now the hotbed of banditry. If you were a parent in that school, would you send your child back when there's no guarantee of security anywhere? That's the problem now. So you see, it is what happened in Borno State is replicating everywhere in the north. Because if they strike this school, And then parents look around, and there's not enough security guarantees that it will not happen again. Nobody will send the child to school. That's what we are saying.
Right.
That look at our president. Our president went and stayed for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, even more than I think up to a month outside. Why the country is burning? We don't even know who is in charge when the president is not here. Is it Shetima? Is it Ababio? Who is in charge when the president is mostly in France, doing whatever that he's doing there, and under one guise or the other? Who is actually in control of the country? A country that is burning. Is the president supposed to be out for more than 2 days?
All right. Well, the president is out. Now the vice president has also left. The vice president has left for the Asia to join an economic forum, an economic summit. How this economic summit and forum they go, I wish they come back and things change in Nigeria economy, but everything remains the same. All right, still on the Daily Post newspaper, we have Davido can win governorship election, Burna Boy can't. Sheyi Sodumi is talking. Well, I know this is where Nigerians begin to make noise, the fans of Davido and fans of Burna Boy. How is it going to be for them? Who knows? Well, let me leave that to Burna Boy fans and Davido's fans to go and fight it out. FCTA evacuates 607 beggars monthly challenge off Abuja streets. 607 beggars every month. So in 12 months, 607 multiplied by 12. Somebody do the math and tell me how many beggars off the street, and this is what is happening.
And where are they taking them to? You see, the issue is people are dumping these beggars in the FCT, especially from the north. From the far north, they dump these beggars in the FCT. And removing them is unsustainable. How long will they continue? Because you remove them, where are you removing them to? That's the question. Where are they going to? If you put them in rehabilitation centers, they are going to fill it up because these states will keep dumping. So is a problem the FCT has to partner with states.
Why do we have these beggars predominantly in the north?
It depends on the culture. You have the Amajiri culture there, and this Amajiri culture also incorporates, here.
Is that supposed to be a culture?
The truth is that here, the culture here discourages begging. In fact, you feed somebody from here today, feed him tomorrow. Next tomorrow, he becomes uncomfortable, you feeding him. He will prefer you give him a job to do so that he takes care of him, so that tomorrow you won't come and insult him and say, after all, I'm feeding you. There's that pride. That's why even today, the man that rides Okada in the southeast here is putting his child in a private school. It's like a competition. So it's quite different from what the main problem the main people causing problems in the north are the Amajaris, the child beggars who are all over the place. And now they are turning into a time bomb because they are being recruited by some of these bandits, not as fighters, but as supporting structures. Now the northern leaders don't want to deal with this issue head on. They don't want to tackle it head on. They're always behaving like ostrich, sticking their heads on the ground. And it doesn't work out that way.
Well, I hope that these northern leaders will understand what they're doing. There's nowhere in the world, not even in Saudi Arabia, that they have al-Majri system. It's just like keeping people poor so they can control them during
that's what I'm saying, because even in Saudi Arabia, in United Arab Emirates, in Bahrain, in Qatar, they discourage begging.
Even in Iran.
They discourage begging. They try as much as possible to discourage begging. So you now wonder where these people imported this culture from. Because if it is Islamic, it would have been everywhere, especially in the Middle East. So it's not a culture that is rooted in... I don't think it's rooted in Islam. I'm not a Muslim, but I am thinking...
I recall Peter Obi made a statement on this, and the Northern Brothers came out smoking and shouting that Peter Obi is calling Islam the beggars, because I think that story says Peter Obi went to an Islamic king, and he said he moved off from that place. He didn't see people begging in the streets, and
yes.
The man said, there are no beggars here.
Yes.
Then he thought that this is supposed to be religious something that has to be accommodated. But that story was twisted, and I can't remember exactly how he said it, but then that's the thing turned into a lot of people. So there are a lot of people who do things negatively, and they don't want you to even tell them that this is what you're doing. And then once you say it, they turn it around and start making it a religious affair that they're insulting the religion. And this is so bad for Nigerian leaders in the north and our northern brothers. What is happening to the north is as a result of this Al-Majiri system.
Barry, remember that Jonathan even built schools all over the north for these Al-Majiris so that they can have some education.
Why can't we just ban Al-Majiri system completely?
Well, it's rooted in a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. And I don't know, the only thing the federal government can do is to persuade the states, to persuade the malams that control all these kids, at least to release some of these kids to go to school. An educated mind can be used, can be manipulated, is malleable. That's the problem we are having. That's when they want to do something like they want to disturb the government, they want demonstration, they call these kids.
If they can't feed their children, how do they pay their fees? Even if the school is free, they need to go to school, they need to feed, they need pencils, they need big books and the rest of them.
I think that's
how do they do that?
I think it's the free education.
Free education comes with other costs now.
That's what I'm saying. That the Jonathan was trying to do then. The Jonathan was, those are Majori schools, I don't know if they are working. Because he built those schools so that these kids can have some education. When somebody is educated too, even if it is primary 6, it has a way of opening the mind.
It thinks differently.
Yes. Than when that person, an uneducated mind is somehow like somebody that is in the dark. And Jonathan saw this, wanted to sort it out. They resisted it. Instead, they removed him. So I don't know.
Anyway, anybody who tries to disrupt what the political and religious controllers in the north has already made it that way, they go ahead and fight it to a tooth nail. Well, that has become a very big, dangerous scenario in our country, and we can live with that. But the funniest thing is that the same people whom we are like saying, why is this happening, they don't care. And they think that's a normal way of life, and that is completely wrong. They need to wake up. All these young boys and girls are putting up in the street. Most of them cost the nuisance, and tomorrow they'll start crying that the government is leaving them to bandits and the rest of them. Why you are the reason why these bandits are existing in the first place. The rich keep getting richer, and the poor keep getting poorer. These boys caricatures, they stay in the bush. They don't even mingle with human beings to understand how people, they start behaving like animals all the time. That is not funny, but that's what we have going on in Nigeria, Al-Majiri system, and the effect. People will say, you are saying it, as I'm even talking, some of them will be getting angry that you're even saying about it. That is what bothers me, that this thing is wrong, and you tell them, please, change it. They get angry for you telling them that this is wrong.
Yes.
And that's the height of the foolishness I've never seen anywhere, by some of them. Some of them really need help. So for those of them that need help, please give them a helping hand. All right, just before we leave, did you watch the AFCON final yesterday?
Yeah, I did. It was a disgrace.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a disgrace. I know they might feel wronged, but the attitude of the Senegalese players cast the continent in bad light.
Is it their fault?
Yeah, but
Is it their fault? Throughout this tournament, it was as if AFCON was designed for Morocco, the host nation, to win.
Yes,
From the quarterfinal, Cameroon were badly handled. In Nigeria match, it was the same thing. In the finals, it became worse just to make sure. Now, why was Senegal's goal cancelled? Why was the penalty given at the dying minute when it was a 50-50 squabble for anything, and they kept dragging? And then a soft touch on the shoulder, this guy fell down. In the 9 minutes of a game, you're giving them a penalty. That's. Anyway, I think God hand follow. God hand follow. So it's congratulations to Senegal, well deserved.
Yes, because I,
as a person, Barry Cosmos is so happy that Senegal won. And it's the West African.
I was rooting for this. I was rooting for Senegal because I didn't like the way we left. Because Even though Chukwueze would have been more serious with his penalty, but I didn't like the way we...
Mentioning Chukwueze now, you're getting people angry. Please, don't mention that name. Don't mention that name.
But now one man, though, good player, skillful player.
That name has become a problem for Nigerian people here.
I know. But at least we got the third position.
Third position is never first position, I beg. Chukwueze is the only reason why we did not win this AFCON. And that's what they say.
We agree. We agree.
All right, on that note, that cheerful note, let's open up our phone lines to you. Be part of the program. Let's join the conversation at the newspaper review segment of the People's Program here on Echo FM 0911 20022 or 0707 454 1014. Those are the numbers to call, and the phone lines are officially open. Now, who will be my first caller? Good morning and welcome to the program. First caller, a bell of blessing for you.
That's the first one. Good morning.
Is that the senior citizen, Mazuzoma?
I'm Mazuzoma, senior citizen.
Welcome.
I'm so many small things. I don't know why you got me to go now. But let's talk music.
No, we needed to smile small now.
In this country.
Yes.
And thank you for the lawyer who is here. But let me ask you.
Yeah.
Why is Al-Majid an institution in Nigeria, whether you like that or not?
It's now an institution.
Why would those who are in charge of Al-Majid, in charge in the church and are the ones that finish, why did they fight Jonathan's establishment of Al-Majid school when their own children are getting educated, not just in Nigeria, but in the best schools in the world? You remember the man who was head of a federal institution who had deposited in advance $5.5 million. Their parents, I have told you, stop talking about dollars. Tell us what it means in Naira. For students, whether it is a man, if there was no Dangote, would we have known? Why are they not encouraging the children of many people in Nigeria, call it Northern Nigeria, call it Northwest or Northeast? Why are they not encouraging these children to have education? And you think we have the same country?
They say Boko Haram.
The same country.
Western education is haram.
Who says they are not must go to school first and come back and go to sell not from school? Where the child, who has no mother or father, is a house girl, is a maid, whatever, but goes to school with the children of the farm check or deputy farm check. Who is also here? But I'm asking, why do you say you just have one country where you have a predominant, almost aristocratic institution called the presidency? It never was so. Do you think if there was, with this type of centralization of power, that Biafra would have accomplished what he accomplished, that the Eastern Nigeria economy, or the leading economy in the world? Obudu Cattle Ranch was meant to provide, it's really in such a way that Obudu Cattle Ranch was to provide the big needs of the whole of Eastern Nigeria and more. And you look at centralization, and you think you are doing well. You are talking of the election, 2027, how many months from now? You are talking of power concentration on one man. And when the president was away, last week or 2 weeks ago, his handler said he traveled to Europe. But it's all very true. And also yesterday, I don't know about today. You have a country called Europe. This one in Barry. I'm senior citizen, Good morning.
Thank you. Europe is a continent, not our country. Good morning.
Good morning, Barry.
Good morning. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, our guests in the studio. My name is Chief Jude Uba, that I usually call from the Uchis of the Imo State. I join you to actually the Senegalese national team for winning this last AFCON match. I think it was actually a way of paying back the Moroccans and CAF officials who actually had the issue. I mean, made it possible for Morocco to win, but at the end of the day, I mean, the whole thing went against them. And as for the Senegalese team that actually get the way they did, I mean, in that last match, when that penalty shootout was awarded to Morocco, I do not want to blame them for whatever it is. If you were to push a man to the wall, the person will be found to will actually the bounce. I think that is that pleasant. And I can tell you that without that, if they haven't done what they have done, that referee should have done anything humanly possible to make sure that the Moroccans win. But I think that demonstration alone, I mean, it's still some fears in him that eventually decided to make him, preside over the match over the way he did. I think I should say congratulations to the Senegalese national team. They did their best, and that would be a lesson for the Molucans. You know that, you can't always lose and win anytime. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Chief Jude. Well, I think Senegal walking out of the pitch was the sweetest thing at that AFCON. Because if any other team had done it, they did it at the final where the entire world was watching. So next time, they have to get preparation better for officiating. The officiating at this year's AFCON was so poor. Last AFCON, even the Western media was like praising officiating in AFCON. Yes. But this year, oh my God, it's nothing. From the quarterfinal knockout stage, it was designed that this should be what should follow next. And this team should win. All right. We have this very crazy one. Let's take another caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Barry.
Chief Ben Okwano, I know that voice.
Thank you very much.
How about it?
Chief Ben Okwano. I'm speaking from Awaka.
All right.
Barrister, I greet you.
Good morning, sir.
Well done. I want to briefly comment on last night's outing. Like most commentators and observers, the referee was poor for the AFCON. And I am particularly impressed and happy over the loss of Morocco. The Senegalese actually put up a good show, and it was a redemption for the image of the West Africa, because the whole officiating was slanted against West Africa. That's the truth. And everything was designed for the host Morocco to scale through. It was a good reader, so to speak. Have a nice day, Barry. I'm Chief Ben Okwano.
Thank you, Chief Ben. Everybody's interested in the AFCON story this morning. Good morning. All right, we lost that one. Please, I do call. As usual, we'll bring you those messages later on the show. Well, let us make this public announcement, please. Everybody just take a listen. This is a public announcement for a missing item. Well, a man named Siri Chijoke lost his envelope containing many items yesterday along Mbise Road after fire service. Please, the items include ECOWAS passport, driving license, NIN card, and motorcycle documents. Please, if anybody has seen that particular envelope, it's not money, it's somebody's personal. You can see these things are very, very important documents. Please, if you have seen it, call Cyril Chijoke on 0913 203 7714. Let me take that number again, 0913 203 7714. You can call that number or bring it straight to Echo FM and we will get in touch with Cyril. Please be a good Samaritan and help this young man, because ECOWAS passport, driving license, all these things are very important documents. It's not money. You can't sell it. So what are you going to do with it? So if you pick it, please be kind enough to return it to Cyril Chijoke. Thank you very much for that beautiful one. Listening to that, let's continue with the program. We go to our WhatsApp. Let's get some messages out of the way. We have, whoops. No. This message plain to you. Let's start off with the wonderful lady, Julie Nosike. She says, beautiful morning, my eloquent and majestic Barry Kasi and the studio guest. From the topic of discussion this morning, all to the paper review shows that Nigeria is in terrible situation from the beginning of the end. Nothing palatable about the country. What a shame. More disgusting is that in the midst of all these woes, some belly-fed sycophants are singing the unfounded praises of this Nigeria. The so-called giant of Africa has become a big laughingstock in the whole world. Nigeria, sorry for you. Isn't Lady Juliana Sike sent in that one? Wow, what a damning message this morning to begin with. All right, Mwachukwu Elias Jr. from Ogbak, who says, good morning, Barry. I want to congratulate Senegal for winning the AFCON yesterday. But Barry, yesterday was a black Saturday for me because I lost a wonderful soul yesterday, so I couldn't watch the AFCON final. It hurts, Barry. Sorry for your loss. May God grant you the fortitude to bear the loss. Sorry, my brother Wachuku. This one is from Elder Chijoke. He is on the run. Please, Mona, hold on. We don't know when they run the go, but he says, Barry, good, great Barry and my counsel, Barrister Ihe Jirika, happy morning and new week to you. Thank you very much, Ogami. He said, Al-Majri is encouraged by northern elites to foist on the vulnerable citizens of the northern extraction their obnoxious rulership, so they wouldn't want it to stop. Mr. President is now on a wall, and the government is on autopilot. For Umahi, who is talking about breaking jinx, is laughable. But in us, where is the evidence of federal government infrastructure impact on the eastern side of Nigeria? Until this APC terrorism is stopped, Nigeria will be on their knees for a very long time. Barrio, it's true that Mr. President is declared missing. So good, oh, God. Okay, on the road. Who declared Mr. President missing? When I tell me, no wonder he said on the road. When I catch up for me. All right, thank you very much, Elder Chijoke, for sending in that one. We have this one says, Jesus, this is newspaper now. When I cool down, reduce the volume of these your messages. It's just too much. Well, it says the Boroboro one on radio and the manner of Senegal. Where is the law according to Mazi Nnamdi KANO? For all that I know, no other law is supposed to supersede any other Nigerian law. And my question is, Sharia law is not for Muslims. I think the Nigerian Christian Association should dangle into the matter and rescue the girl from the hands of Sharia bandits. For Ararume, where is the courage from the president? Maybe he want to start begging for APC Imo Guba ticket. For Atiku, son defection means that Atiku should drop his ambition to Peter Obi. His son knows fully well that his father is not fit to contest for an election come 2027. His son may likely contest for governorship under APC come 2027. Barrister, congratulations for maintaining your word by joining Peter Obi in ADC. Barry, congratulations to Senegal for winning the African Cup of Nations. Comrade Chris Ogbonna, JP Church of Presentation, Umogoma. All right, thank you very much for sending in those messages. Let's go back to the phone lines right about now. Okay, please keep the calls coming. 0911 20022. Good morning. Who's the line?
Hello, good morning.
Welcome aboard. Name and submission.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. We can hear you.
This is Awuja calling from Nekede.
Awuja, I've not heard you for a couple of days now. Where have you been?
Yeah, business sent me out of the state.
Oh, great. I hope you brought back some goodies.
I'm fully back now.
You brought goodies now. Now, what I want to know now?
Yeah.
We know that one.
Yeah, the barrister there is, I think he's a renowned barrister.
Of course now.
He did a very fine assignment in all the topics you people handled this morning.
All right. Thank you.
But on the match between Senegal and Morocco, I think when you work hard, you must win, no matter what happens. So,
okay.
God was with Senegalese yesterday.
All right.
You know, they won two teams yesterday. They won the Moroccans and won the referee. But you know that the match was between them and the referee, as it was in that of Nigeria. So sometimes the referee decides who will win, but God decides the final winner. So let us thank the Moroccans the Senegalese for winning that match.
All right, thank you. It seems to me Nigeria is just happy because Senegal won the match because Morocco defeated Nigeria. You know the funniest thing in football is that Ghanaians are happy that the referee actually blew that match the way he handled the match, but Nigerians are still bantering with Ghana because it was a Ghanaian referee. But the way CAF organized that whole thing. See, against Morocco, Nigeria, the central referee Ghana, the VAR referee South Africa,
yes,
the touchline referee was Tanzania and Mozambique. Both nations will beat.
Yeah, which is not supposed to be
in the Nations League.
Even yesterday. Why would you bring a Ghanaian referee
again
from West Africa to officiate a match between another West African country? And I know people feel he favored Morocco, but I think...
They thought that man favored Morocco. Every referee.
No, wait, calm down. What I'm saying is, the point I'm trying to make is not about what happened on the pitch, but the actual origin of the referee ought to come from either Southern Africa or Central Africa.
East Africa, Central Africa, any of them. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning. Who them a line?
Good morning, sir.
I greet you, sir. Welcome aboard.
Barrister Henry, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Samuel from Niger.
Sammy, how buddy?
Yeah, talking about the Alamajiris in the north.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you live in the north, you will understand it better. I've lived in the north for 6 years, and I understand it better.
Mm.
The allies in the north, they will not allow you to come and teach their children what they know.
Mm.
Barry,
Yeah?
if you have not seen anything, you know, that if you be outside the football pitch and you're watching from television, you will not see the pitch.
It will like
Like the pitch.
it's a bit play pass or catch.
Yes. That is how it is in the north. If you are outside the north and you are talking about what is happening in the north, you will not know the details. But you see, if you go to the north, you will see, I don't know if you have had multitudes that follow Jesus. You will see multitude of people roaming around the streets begging. Multitude. Not few people. As in, sometimes you will be in the restaurant eating. About 10, 20 people will be waiting for your plate.
Oh.
If you turn around to
for the scraps,
to drink, they will snatch that plate from you, even when you have not finished eating.
Yeah?
And nothing you can do about it. So it is the northern allies that try to withhold education from the children so that they will not know what they know, and they will continue. If you go there, you will just see few people, few houses where their children go to normal school. That's Western education in the morning. So
and those are their leaders' children.
Hello.
Those are the leaders' children.
Yes. Even for you to see cement house, it is those northern allies that own the cement houses.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yes. So
thank you.
They are the ones breeding this Boko Haram and all that, because when the children grow up and they don't know where to go, you can easily confuse them with 1 or 2 naira.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for your experience. Thank you for your experience. Let's go to our Facebook now and get some messages. Chiveno Kwano from Awaka says, my brother Barry, the labeling of Tinubu as a courageous president by Ararume, to me, is one of those antics of our political jobbers who dismiss themselves as leaders. If removing fuel subsidy with its attendant hardship on the citizenry and other economic policies that have left Nigerians gasping for bread, if all this amount to courage, then the word courage must be given a different definition. Have a great day, Barry. Thank you very much, Chief Ben Okwano. Dr. Mrs. Amal Laborer from Owerri says, the truth of the matter is that we are practicing democracy without the people. Nigeria is in revenue crisis with huge debts, and our leaders are not helping matters. Instead of cutting down high cost of governance, they are living in opulence while the poor masses live in abject poverty, asking the citizens to make sacrifice and tighten their belts while they're losing theirs. Imagine the jumbo allowances and provocative remuneration of our lawmakers and ministers and their long convoy, including the president. They are not living by example. That is the gospel according to Dr. Mrs. Amal Laborer. Justice Kachi, he says, Tinubu out, Shetima out, cruise nation. Justice Kachi sent in that one. Alfonso Chima says, straight talk on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri with Mr. Barry Cosmos, the one on radio. I greet you, sir. As for HISBAH versus the Nigerian Constitution, the matter is clear. Some governors enable lawlessness by funding HISBAH outside the Constitution. This has led to illegal arrest, harassment, and punishment without due process. Nigeria has one constitution. The solution is simple. HISBAH must operate strictly within constitutional limits, focus only on moral guidance, and leave arrest and punishment to the police and courts. Anyone who violates citizens' rights must be held accountable. Leadership should restore order and protect the people, not profit from Confusion. Alphonsus Chima from Imsu Junction. All right, we have Ikechukwu Uche Wanem says these people want to Islamize this nation. God forbid. And Oforoyuna Chibukom says, please keep up the good work from your regular listener. And Oforoyuna Chibukom, Ogamopo, St. Peter's Catholic Special Jurisdiction, Waxley, at Owerri, Imo State. He also says, Chi, good luck. He's sending this one Barrio. Say good morning to you and the man with you over there. For the first time, Chelsea Chief Jude supported football. Anyway, Morocco deserve what they got. Hala United. Come, you don't remind me something. This, Chi, good luck. Come, Michael Carrick. I don't know what you want to tell Man U to. Man U, all of us don't know. Say, see, they dash 3 points. They do all this. Michael Carrick can't carry them. They play ball and never see. Be like saying a prime Barcelona.
That's a freak win. You know, that 2-0 win against Man City.
It's a freak win. It's going to be a one-off, right?
Yeah, they will return to their normal
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Man U, no, man, I not try that thing. I can't watch Man U. Can't people like say they watch Barcelona, they play.
No, it's a freak win.
Getafe.
It's a freak win. I said it that day that it's a freak win. Even though I had wanted Man U to win, I don't support either team. Supporting Leeds United.
I'm going to off your mic now if you say that thing again. All right, on that note, we'll be calling it a wrap on the newspaper review segment of the People's Program. It's time for us to visit our newsroom to bring you the news update at 10. I think it's Best Beauty around. Let's call Best Beauty into the studio to give you the news update at 10. Of course, if you're just joining us, this is Echo FM 100.7, and the program is Straight Talk. No bending corners with the Radio Marshal Barry Cosmos and our guest at this time, Barrister Hejirika Mecca. We are going to be discussing, after the news updates, the situation in KANO State and in most Sharia law compliant states in Nigeria, where the Sharia law is now being enforced on Christians. Should the Christian bring their own law? What do we call it? The canon law that should be part of what guides the Christian, and let's see if the government will allow that to happen. But at the end of the day, the Sharia law is not given a status. They have their own police to start with. We have Nigerian police. The Sharia law has its own police. And they're now arresting Christians that have no business in the Sharia law. And now, the worst part of it, they say they do not recognize the Nigerian law because their law is Sharia law. So how do we deal with this issue? These and many more, we will be having conversation after this time. I don't touch a dime. We will be right back.
At this hour. The federal government has banned all mining activities within a 10-kilometer radius of bridges across Nigeria to safeguard critical infrastructure and improve public safety. Minister of Works, Senator David Umahi, announced the directive after inspecting projects in the southeast, noting that mining near bridges has contributed to structural damage and road failures. He said the decision aligns with approvals by the Federal Executive Council and will be strictly enforced through enhanced surveillance, including patrol boats and security monitoring. Umahi added that CCTV cameras and solar-powered lighting will be installed on bridges and major highways nationwide, alongside continued rehabilitation of key road networks. Former Imo State Governor Achike Udenwa has defected from the People's Democratic Party to the African Democratic Congress, formalizing his membership in Amefeke Ward, Olu local government area. He was registered as member number 001 in the ward, an exercise witnessed by party leaders and supporters. Udenwa said his decision followed wide consultation and was motivated by the ADC's commitment to integrity, internal democracy, and good governance. ADC leaders described the move as a significant boost for the party in Imo State, strengthening its position ahead of future elections. The Anambra State government has warned that masquerade groups involved in violence, harassment, or intimidation will be banned and prosecuted. The warning follows reports of a masquerade assaulting residents and disrupting a public event in Agbu Community, Orumbal South local government area. State authorities confirmed the arrest of the masquerade involved and reiterated that guidelines regulating masquerade activities remain in force. The government urged communities to preserve cultural heritage responsibly, stressing that tradition must not be used as a cover for violence. A multi-vehicle accident on the Kara Bridge along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway caused severe traffic congestion, leaving motorists stranded for several hours. The crash involved a floor-laden truck that overturned and collided with two cars and two commercial buses heading towards Mowe. Traffic officials said the accident blocked multiple lanes, triggering gridlock that stretched as far back as the Secretariat area. Emergency responders were deployed to offload the spilled goods and clear the expressway to restore traffic flow. At least 7 new suspected cases of Lassa fever have been recorded in Benue State, raising concerns about a possible spread of the viral disease. The state epidemiologist Asema Musga disclosed this in Makurdi, noting that the cases were identified through ongoing disease surveillance across the state. Muswega said samples have been collected from the affected persons and forwarded to laboratories for confirmation. He added that health authorities are intensifying monitoring and response measures to contain any potential outbreak and prevent further transmission. The Nasarawa State Police Command has rescued 17 persons suspected to be victims of human trafficking during a security operation. Preliminary investigations revealed that the individuals claimed they were traveling from Plateau State to Kwara State for promised farming jobs. Police said efforts to contact the alleged recruiter and the victims' families were unsuccessful, raising further suspicion. The rescued persons have been placed in protective custody at the State Criminal Investigation Department as investigations continue. And in business, the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association and the Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund have intensified efforts to promote safer workplaces nationwide. They warned that negligence, weak awareness, and poor safety culture continue to expose workers to preventable injuries and fatalities. Officials said occupational safety has now been elevated by the International Labour Organization to a core convention binding on all member states. The Federal Ministry of Labour commended the initiative, describing it as a model collaboration aligned with global best practices. And on the foreign scene, South Africa has declared a national disaster following widespread flooding that has killed dozens and displaced thousands. Heavy rainfall affected several provinces, destroying homes and forcing evacuations, including the closure of parts of the Kruger National Park. Rescue teams continue search operations as floodwaters recede in some areas, while South Africa has also deployed assistance to neighboring Mozambique. Authorities say over 170,000 people have been affected, with the death toll expected to rise. And in sports, Spanish La Liga club Valencia have opened talks to sign Super Eagles captain Wilfred Ndidi during the January transfer window. Reports indicate the Nigerian midfielder is open to the move as the club seeks experienced players to stabilize their season. Ndidi, currently on international duty with Nigeria at the Africa Cup of Nations, is expected to consider his club future after the tournament. Valencia believe his defensive strength and leadership could help the club avoid relegation. And that is the news update at this hour, edited by Benjamin Joseph. For more news and updates, follow us on Facebook at Echo FM, X at Echo FM_Owerri, Instagram at Echo FM 100.7, YouTube at Echo FM 100.7. You can also listen live anywhere in the world via www.echofm.net. I am Best Beauty Goinfa. Thank you for listening and have a great morning.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome back to Straight Talk Live on Echo FM 100.7. It is a pleasure to be with you again. Let's continue with the program. But before we do that, okay, it's gradually that time of the season. The first Oje Zurubodo. Oje Zurubodo. Come on, hit it. All right, Oje Zurubodo is coming, and of course, it is on the 24th day of January. Are you ready? Well, Oje Zurubodo this time is heading to Ohaji local government, but this time around is heading to what one of my callers always say, the most peaceful community. Do you know who that community, where it is? Umuakane. It is coming to Umuakane, Ohaji Egbema, on the 24th day of January. Please, Governor Chimaroke, I know you'll be happy about that one. Padek Nwosu, you are happy about that one. So go check it out. Oje Zurubodo will be holding at Umuakane community. So everybody at Umuakane, get ready to host Oje Zurubodo. They will be coming. The Oje Zurubodo, the priest and the priestess will be there, who will be the chosen one. And you know how it goes. You have the opportunity to come and tell us about what Umuakane community is. You know, those days we used to, from Obinze, we used to jibe Umuakane. Man, I'm not going to jibe them today because Oje Zurubodo is coming there. But definitely you have the opportunity to come and tell us exactly what your community is made up of, the history of your people, what you are known for, your own status and everything, your kingship and all that will be discussed here on Echo FM. If you get to be the chosen one, you will definitely be smiling home, smiling to the bank with Can you imagine this January where they had? You can't be like, say that one. Guy, I'm going to go Makane, I'm going to change origin, at least. All right, Makane community, congratulations. Oje Zurubodo is coming to your end. And at the end of the day, you will smile to the banks and smile right here in Echo FM. Padek, if I don't see you pick this thing, I don't say you don't F up. Oh, all right, let's go back to the show. We go back to the conversation. Recall that we are discussing the Nigerian wahala of the HISBAH and the Nigerian police and all that. KANO HISBAH police that detained a 15-year-old girl. 15-year-old girl, and up till now, she has not been released. When Nigerian police decided that they want to bring out the girl, KANO HISBAH police said they are not under Nigerian government. They are not under the authority of the Nigerian police. So at this juncture, do we have a constitution that supersedes that of Nigerian constitution? Is the HISBAH police not under the jurisdiction of Nigerian police? So what all this happening, what is your take on this matter? All right? It is very, very funny that we have two sets of laws in Nigeria. One, HISBAH. Two, Nigerian constitution. So which one supersedes that of the Nigerian constitution? Why would people living in Nigeria not be confined with Nigerian constitution rather than their religious constitution? Nigeria is a secular state, they say, but HISBAH is beginning to take the laws into their hand, and they are now moving not just to Muslims, but Christian, amid Christian genocide claims. All right, still talking about the Christian genocide. Just, was it 2 days ago, a Catholic priest was burnt to ashes by bandits who came to the church. They shot his assistant priest and caught him and set him ablaze, and he burnt down to ashes. And still, there is no Christian genocide. Christians are dying, Muslims are dying. Now, to rub insult to injury, HISBAH, the Islamic police, is now beginning to affect Christians in Nigeria. This time around, attention is shifting to KANO State, where this incident happened. Still with me here to discuss this is Barrister Ejirika Emeka, who is going to be giving us the legal framework for this particular conversation. Barrister, thank you for staying with us.
Thank you very much.
All right, you've heard what the HISBAH police is doing. First off, how did this Sharia law and Nigerian law run concurrently in Nigeria? Can you just explain the difference and how they run concurrently, and if Nigerian law has any superiority over the Sharia law, and why is it not applied?
Well, the first thing is that these Islamic laws, Sharia law, is supposed to be civil in nature. Mainly applying to marriage, inheritance, you know.
Do they have the right to arrest?
No, wait now. Civil. Is not supposed to extend into the criminal jurisdiction that they are assuming now. The Nigerian Constitution is very, very clear. Yeah? Sections 1.1 and 1.3. Any law that in Nigeria that is inconsistent with the Constitution is a nullity, is void. And is open, is clear, everybody knows that. Now, for you to have a HISBAH police, that means there must be a criminal jurisdiction which they are supposed to enforce.
Okay.
Originally, Sharia, the law allows them to, you know, allows Sharia law, but to individual Muslims that consent. If I say I'm a Muslim, I don't want the Sharia law to apply to me, it will not apply. And they're supposed to apply in civil matters, like marriage. Just like you have customary court. Let me
Can
give
you
you
just list those things you call civil and the example of criminal?
that's exactly like civil now, like marriage. Like it is like marriage. Like, for example, inheritance. Like, you know, some of this civil. But when you're talking of criminal jurisdiction, you are now bringing crimes into it, which is under the purview of the Nigerian state. State as in both federal and state, because there are criminal jurisdictions that are under the state, and there are ones, especially the transborder ones, or the ones that affects items in the exclusive jurisdiction, like that maybe NDLA, EFCC, the ones they prosecute, is strictly federal. Now, somebody went, the first man to be a victim of this Sharia law, Jengedi, I can still remember his name, Jengedi. In South Zamfara State, they said he stole a cow. Stealing a cow is supposed to be prosecuted under our criminal laws, not under Sharia law. But what's the name of that governor then? Ahmed Yerima. Prosecuted him. They found him guilty and they amputated his hands. So what they are doing is illegal. It's just that, let me tell you, in this Nigerian setup, we all know the truth, but nobody wants to go hard on it. We know that these people don't have criminal jurisdiction to operate this, their Sharia. That is strictly...
But there's what they call specialized Sharia.
Like how?
Now, I'm talking about they have this specialized Sharia that expanded the criminal law.
No, all these things...
And like amputation for theft through specialized...
It has not been... Federal government has not tested it before the Supreme Court. I don't think there's a Supreme Court ruling giving these people the right they have now to go into the criminal jurisdiction. Somebody brings him beer. You say no alcohol. No, Nigeria is a secular state. It's a secular state. It's not a religion. There's no part of Nigeria that has been given that fiat to operate a religious jurisdiction. No.
Okay, now, we have Sharia states that operates and give laws that must be obeyed by whoever is there, as if it's a religious state. For instance, in KANO State, you can't openly sell alcohol.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Alcohol is not illegal in Nigeria.
So why is it that some people who either sell or consume alcohol are arrested or they destroy those people's properties, and the Nigerian government and the police and everything keeps quiet about it.
In the Nigerian Constitution, there's nothing like HISBAH. HISBAH is a creation by the various states. Just like in Imo State, we might enact a law and say we are creating soldiers of Christ. Soldiers of Christ. If you don't go to church on Sunday and they get you, you know what's up.
Maybe small, there will be people.
I'm telling you now, that is exactly like, I'm telling you. And they say, okay, if they get you before 12 o'clock drinking beer, you are in trouble. Or you drink beer on Sunday, you are in trouble. That is exactly what is being operated by these people. Is it not absurd? And the federal government is keeping quiet about it, because where there's a dispute between the state and the federal government is supposed to take some of these matters to the Supreme Court, but political expediency will not allow them. Because I'm just wondering where the state will create a police. There's no state police, but there's HISBAH police. Currently, now we are debating on if the states would have, a role in the policing of citizens, and then creating a state police. We don't have a state. Do we have a state police? We don't. What we have are
I think you're just raising something I have not thought about in that light.
Yes.
We have HISBAH police, which is a state creation.
It's a state creation,
and
yes.
Constitutionally, we have federal police, not state police.
We don't.
Now, are they supposed to be put under the context of vigilante group or a police?
They are supposed to be, first of all, they are not like the vigilante. The vigilante is strictly to help the police to police the various localities, reduce criminality. And the vigilantes don't have the power to prosecute. They don't even have the power to detain beyond a few hours before handing the person over to the police. Yeah. The vigilantes don't have the power to detain within maybe more than a few minutes or hours. They can detain maybe for 1 hour or 2 hours while contacting the police to come and take away the person, or maybe the time it will take them to hand over the person to the police.
Fine. We have a dual legal system operational in states that have Sharia as well as the secular laws. That is dual legal system, because the Sharia have their law, they have the lowest court, they have the appeal court, and they have their Supreme Court, which decides anything on Sharia law.
Yes.
And by law, they have to be with marriage, divorce, and inheritance.
Yes.
Those are the things that are supposed to be involved. And then they expanded to criminal law.
Yes.
Like amputation for theft and all those kind of craziness that happens in there. Now, if we have a dual system in Nigeria,
yes,
and we don't have a state police in Nigeria, why is it that our House of Assembly members who are Christians not raising this matter?
Okay, you mean National Assembly members?
Yes, the National Assembly.
The National Assembly members we have, most of them are Sidon de Luke. Most of them are there. They don't even know why they are there. Most of them will not have the liver, the courage, or even the wherewithal, the intellectual power to go into such topics. They will be scared stiff. So that's why I'm telling you political expediency. The Supreme Court has even said that the Sharia courts don't have, that is, they cannot rule over land, who owns land or who do not.
But they're doing it.
Yeah, but they're doing it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The political will is not there to tackle this Sharia criminal jurisdiction issue. Because what the federal government would have done would have been to take some of these states to the Supreme Court to make a determination.
Okay, so why are we not having people who have been offended, I'm using that word offended for lack of a better word, by the involvement of Sharia crossing their jurisdiction to others? Why are they not taking it to the Nigerian civil courts?
Well, I don't know, but let me give you an example. Somebody, an Igbo merchant who sells drinks in KANO, and he brings three trailer loads, and the HISBAH destroyed those trailer loads. He's in KANO doing his business.
Yeah.
He will be scared stiff to take them to court. And in our system, it has to be personal for you to,
at that point, shouldn't the Nigerian police step in to protect the property and business of that man, because he has a constitutional right to be protected by the law?
That's exactly the thing. The Nigerian police, when you maybe bring such complaints, they will say, okay, state law. It's law of the state. That's that particular state. And then, when you try to raise some of these issues that this is incompatible with the Constitution, then you know that you've hit a brick wall. So they can only suspend this criminal jurisdiction of the Sharia if the federal government takes it up and the Supreme Court makes a definite ruling on it.
So,
and let me give you an example.
Okay.
Yobe State says they want to make a law that men and women will not sit in the same transport.
Yeah, that started one time.
Why would they do that? No, I don't understand. Because this country is secular. And even the Yobe State you're talking of, Yobe State is in the north, created out of the old Borno State. But the southern part of Yobe State is Christian. When they're talking of Christian genocide, Christian repression in the north is real. Even in Borno State, places like Chibok are all Christian areas. Even coming down to Adamawa, these are Christian-dominated areas. But they are being heavily repressed. And when somebody talks of Christian genocide, some other people will start by opening their basket mouth. Sorry, I'm sorry to say this on air, but that's exactly what is happening. So, you see, the Sharia law is meant to be personal. If you have a problem, you're married under Islamic law, you have a problem, you bring it to the Sharia courts and they make a determination. And not when somebody steals. Instead of taking that person to the secular courts or civil courts or criminal courts, you're bringing that person to a Sharia court. So that, or adultery. Adultery is a crime in the north. It's not a crime in the south. If you carry another man's wife, for example, here, it's not a crime. If you try that in the north, it's a crime. But then it is not tried it's not supposed to be tried under the Sharia courts. It's supposed to be tried under the civil courts. Because it falls within that context. The Sharia court is not supposed to expand beyond personal into criminal. And that's the problem we are having. And they are so politicizing it. And that's why successive presidents from Jonathan to the man we have now will not tackle it. It's politically explosive. Because that is also their weapon of control, this Sharia thing.
All right. Now, I want to go back a little bit in history. And the history shows that where Islam comes, it starts this way. It starts this way. Before you know, it spreads and spreads and spreads, and it becomes an Islamic state, as it is called.
Yes.
Iran is a typical example. Iran had a diverse group like the Persians, the Medes, the Parthians, and the Sicilian, all the rest of them. And Saka. These are groups that were made up of Iran. And at the end of the day, they were unified under powerful empires like the Achaemenid, I think I remember correctly,
yes.
if I'm not pronouncing it wrong, the Sasanian and the rest of them.
Yes.
They were all practicing indigenous faiths. Primarily, they called them the Zoroastrianism. I think I pronounced it in the Oyinbo. Don't come and kill me. And of course, they centered on worshipping Ahura and the Mazda until Islam came, overpowered them, and introduced Islam, and they became Islamic nation. Now, it starts with implementation from one small joint to unit before you know it spreads around. Are we seeing that now in Nigeria?
Yeah, I don't think such will happen in Nigeria. Do you know why I said that? Even in the north, Plateau, Benue, Nasarawa to an extent,
A part of Taraba?
Part of Taraba, just part of Adamawa.
Yeah. And the Gongola area?
Yeah, old Gongola state now, Taraba and Adamawa, are places with substantial militant Christian population. You cannot Islamize Plateau.
Of course.
You cannot
Benue
or even Taraba to some extent.
Of course.
So you see, that what they are doing is consolidating whatever grip they have in the far north. Even in Boronu, if people have to be very, very truthful to themselves. They know that they have a substance. I've been to that Chibok area now. There are people who are even more Christian than us here. You go there, you see these ECWA churches, ECWA churches. That is where those churches. That is where you have some of those. So now, what we are saying is that if you want to use the Sharia as an instrument of Islamization, definitely it will not work.
Okay.
Because even Muslims, like the Yorubas, are split 50-50, Christian Muslims. But they are liberal Muslims, extremely liberal Muslims.
All right, so with this matter now, a 15-year-old girl is being held hostage.
Yes.
For over 2 months. 15-year-old girl. By law, can that girl be held for that long?
Who is actually holding the girl?
HISBAH.
HISBAH.
In
Now,
Rogo local government area.
Now, what they're supposed to do if they have a lawyer, that's what I'm trying to say. Most of the lawyers there might not like to take up this matter because of certain repercussions. But even at that, somebody can file for her right enforcement in Abuja. If the situation in KANO does not warrant somebody, coming out openly to file. But in KANO, somebody can file for her right enforcement. Directing HISBAH, the court will not direct HISBAH to release her. Because why would HISBAH hold, even police by right is not supposed to hold somebody beyond 2 days.
It's a minor to start
And that's what I'm saying. Now, so the circumstance is not only bizarre, sordid, but strange. There's no law. There's no law in the Nigerian constitution that even said that, except with a court order, that you can hold somebody for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, not to talk of months.
What does the law say about minors?
Yeah, well, is the law. The law does not forbid the detention of minors. The law does not expressly forbid the detention of minors, but certain issues must be taken into consideration. Like informing parents or family, and if possible, prompt charging of the minor and probably granting of bail in certain circumstances. So, but the law does not expressly forbid the detention of minors. But the issue I'm looking at here is that what powers do the HISBAH, what powers have they to even detain? What powers beyond a day? Like I told you, even our local vigilantes in the village can arrest troublemakers in the village. They can. When that is done, they have to contact the police and hand over because they have no prosecutory powers.
All right, let me just give you a little bit of the story for those of you who have not heard about Umi's story. Umi is a Christian girl. Well, according to the family alleged that she was abducted by youths of her community and forcefully converted to Islam with the alleged complicity of local religious authorities. Well, the family of a 15-year-old Christian girl, Umi Tambaya from Kano State, has raised the alarm over her disappearance. The family alleged that she was abducted by youths of her community and forcefully converted to Islam with alleged complicity of local religious authority. Umi, a native of Kadafa, Bari district in Rogo local government area of Kano State, has been missing since December 1st. And today is January 19, if you check about that.
Yeah.
Now, the police, after collecting 20,000 naira, they have even published the transfer of 20,000 to Abdurrashid Mohammed Abubakar, who is a policeman who claimed that the police needed money for their vehicle. The same police, the federal government, really packaged a lot of money for them in our budget. Well, our family alleged that a young Muslim man from the village who had persistently sought her hand in marriage despite repeated refusals orchestrated her abduction. According to the family, the man initially denied knowing her whereabouts after she went missing. Well, speaking on the case, Pastor Kabina Usman, who is familiar with the situation, said that efforts to locate the girl revealed she was being kept under the custody of the HISBAH commander in Rogo. After a long search and relentless efforts, we discovered the girl has been kept under the custody of the HISBAH commander of Rogo, Malam Sani, that she wants to convert to Islam.
Yeah, that's
can you imagine
a minor I don't know
I think
if
I think it's the stage of taking such decisions by
I
her
don't
own
know
self.
if a minor has the capacity to even understand a 15-year-old girl or 16-year-old girl, the implication of conversion. I don't know. I don't think so. And keeping the child under the custody, not of the HISBAH as a force, but in the custody of a commander of HISBAH, who is a private individual. If this is not abduction, I don't know what it is again. You see, so many strange things happen there. She is from that local government in Kano State. They have indigenous Christians there. But these people are under pressure. Have you ever seen a Christian, apart from maybe an Igbo man or maybe some other person who is a non-indigenous of Kano State? I've not seen an indigenous of Kano State who is a Christian giving public positions. I've never heard. I'm not saying it hasn't. I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but I have not heard. But
All right.
what I'm saying,
Let's just give you more details on that story so that you see the rottenness in our system where some people just take laws into their hand and nothing happens to them. Let that happen elsewhere and see what happens. Well, Usman said that despite interventions by the divisional police officer in charge of Rogo, Suleiman Ibrahim and the village district head, Umar Abdul Kadir, the HISBAH commander, allegedly refused to produce the girl. He also accused the Department of State Service in the area of failing to act on the matter, alleging extortion by one of its officers, which are published. I can see the 20,000 they transferred to that particular Abdul Kadir. It is surprised the public to know that the DSS in the state has refused to act on this matter. In fact, one of the officers in the local government collected up to 20,000, claiming the officers from the headquarters needed to buy fuel. Usman said he appealed for urgent intervention, saying the family was traumatized and feared that those responsible could escape accountability. We are appealing to relevant authorities to come to our aid. Now, the whole thing now is that the girl wants to convert to Islam. So because she wants to convert to Islam, Sharia law will now apply on her, even if she has not converted. You say she wants to. If she wants to, are you not going to make it public? Why hide the girl?
but there's something I want.
Hold on. This issue of abducting young girls in particular.
It happens.
Like
it happens
every
in the
day,
north,
every time
seriously.
they abduct a girl and they claim the girl wants to convert to, after the Muslim person, if the girl refuses to marry, they forcefully take. And once they make you a Muslim, you have no say on what happens in terms of your marriage.
but what I'm saying is, there must be a reason for the HISBAH to. There must be a charge before now talking of conversion. You see, that's exactly what, when people start talking nonsense, and when we are saying that there's Christian genocide heavily in the north, that this is actions targeted at clearing a particular people from a particular area.
All right.
So if that is not genocide, I wonder what it is.
What name would you what will you call it? Anyway, it's time for you to add your voice to the conversation. May I have a barrister have been analyzing the situation? What is your take on this matter? Hello, good morning and welcome.
Hello, Barry. Good morning.
Welcome, sir.
I'm senior citizen, Mazio.
All right,
Thank
welcome,
you very
sir.
much for bringing the lawyer who no doubt is conversant with the details. Barry, I wanted to ask just one question. Is there an Attorney General of the Federation? When is the Attorney General involved? When the laws of Nigeria are being desecrated, openly, brazenly, does the Attorney General keep quiet? The directors in the Attorney General in his chambers, what are they doing? They are talking of the right of a minor. Who should protect the minor? Assuming that she has no parents or the parents are not in a position to understand anything. Who should protect? This is not the Attorney General of the state. What is the Attorney General of the Federation doing? And you are talking of Christian genocide and no Christian genocide. I've spent at least 1 year in Maiduguri. That's when I traveled south, when I heard of Lassa fever. In the Lassa area, Lassa is a community. You don't have anybody belonging to, they're all Christians there. Because the missionaries who established the hospital in Lassa, where you now had the Lassa fever detected by that hospital planted by the missionaries. The whole of that area is missionary area. What I'm saying is this. We are looking at this and this is, this little girl, the girl who was killed in the university. Things are not happening. But, we are allowing you were pointing at Iran. Go and look at the photographs of women in Iran 50 years ago. The Iranian government came about 47, 49 years ago. Go and look at the women of Iran, how they were dressing 50 years ago. Now you have the strange appearance in black, no face, nobody sees your face, nobody sees your finger. And Iran was not an Islamic country. Never was. And the Iranians are not Arabs. You had Jews, you had everybody from different countries who were there. And some people think that this is just, it doesn't matter, it's one village in Kano. Those who are doing what they are doing are consistent. They have their plans laid out. They do one step after another. In a minor way, until it becomes like an overwhelming tide. Good morning, Barry.
Thank you.
I have tried to say is that this is a failure on the side of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice. I think I met him soon after he took field. And he was a man, you could say, made by God. But I don't know now, Barry, I don't know. The dangers of politics and politics. Good morning. I'm senior citizen.
All right.
Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Sabare.
Good morning, Curtison.
Yeah. Good morning, a man I so much admire on radio. Barrister.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, you are one man I so much love. You are very intelligent for my liking. I must commend. I feel happy any day I hear your voice on radio.
Thank you, Kachison. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
That is the time to go. You don't use all your time to the barrister.
No, even if it's just greeting, I'm okay. Counsel, my regards to my mom.
Thank you, sir.
In fact, for this thing you say, I'm no longer saying anything. Let me just comment.
Come and be going. Come and be going. Bye-bye.
I want to align myself with all his analysis. My name remains catching from out.
Bye-bye. Good morning.
Good morning, my very good friend, Mr. Barry. How are you doing this morning?
I'm very fine. Welcome aboard, sir.
Barrister in the house, good morning.
I'm loyal, sir.
Olumbi Sen Onyeze Ezelobo.
Welcome.
Barry, my very good friend, you see this country will find ourselves that called Nigeria for now. I keep on saying it. There is two laws that govern this country. The one that made for Igbos to steal, to kill, and to destroy them. Other laws are made for other Nigerians. That's why whatever they do, they go free. Check out in a country called Nigeria. A Nigerian police goes after local, whatever thing they call it in the north. They say they don't have authority. It's not a mess. It's a total mess in this country called Nigeria. Yeah. That's why I'm calling, let us discuss this country called Nigeria for now. If you are not tired, I am tired, though. My brother Barry and the barrister in the house. This thing happened to my sister. I'm telling you, my sister that lives in Aba, that doing business with one man in Kano, it's in Kano. They took police all the way from Kano, went to Aba, arrested the lady, went to Kano, and the prosecuting her with the Sharia law. If not the intervention of the EBC and the people in Kano, they could have sentenced the lady to death with the so-called Sharia law, and we keep silent. And we say there is no Christian genocide and whatever in Nigeria. That's why we see a country that is being known with corruption, that's using $9 million to bribe American government and their senators because of the genocide. We keep silent. Where are we heading in this country called Nigeria? Let us discuss Nigeria. Me, I want to go. I don't want to remain in Nigeria again. Thank you and God bless.
Good morning. Really? Really? Anybody that flashed me this morning, why am I your phone lost? That should not flash me. Let's take some messages. We have this one say, Ezen Nayak Buruburu. Barrio, I come in peace. Ararime talking about bat is like clapping for your oppressor. Recall he was denied his position in the NNPC Limited Board. That's how Igbo man sells out. Well, I wish him good luck. Elder Chijoke sent in that one. And for you, I'm Chubukam say betterlicious morning and compliments of the new week to you, my golden voice in the studio. A super duper congratulations to Senegal for their superlative performance against Morocco in AFCON final. Also, CAP should make a strong statement against the poor officiating of football games in Africa. Kachineke Mezoku. Thank you very much, Yunan. Anna says, Barry, good morning. You see what is happening in the north. If it happens here in the southeast, you will see Hausa police mixed with our own people and force the arrest of the girl. Thank God for Senegal and shame to that Ghanaian ref that handled our game with Morocco. Julie Nasike said, sweet morning once again, my eloquent and majestic Barry Kelsey. Well done, our studio guest. Having listened to what's happened to this Christian and what has been happening to our other Christian brethren, how can anyone justifiably ask anyone to sing the old new Nigeria anthem and say the pledge? Are we really one Nigeria? If we are, why do we have different rules and laws for different people instead of common laws and common rules and laws for every Dick and Harry of this nation? All right, that's the message according to our wonderful mama in the studio, Julie Nasike. He said that she also said, and why is the prosecution always coming from one side with the power that is looking the other way? Without mincing words, the Nigerian state is clearly a state of freeborn and slaves. Oh boy, that is a strong word to use, man, but that is your opinion. This situation is seriously worrisome and demands serious explanation and resolution. We cannot continue like this. Ezine Lady Julie Nasike, thank you very much for your message. Let's go over to our WhatsApp after this caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Barry Cosmos.
I greet you. Welcome aboard.
Good morning, guest.
Good morning.
My name is Austin calling from Kettle. Barry, see, as far as I'm concerned, in this country that we've seen ourselves, which is Nigeria, which is our beloved country. Barry, there are two laws that is governing us, the Sharia law and the rest of it. But for instance, now, had it been that let's say from the east here now, we said I want to enact a law now that will be guiding us in this east. Now, would they allow us? That's totally no. Now, we are talking about the police that they're just fashioned out. Is there not? They're just telling us they don't have the right to do everything they want to do. And we are here. Barry, let's tell us true now. When they share this country, they're just sharing. They're just giving themselves this country. I bet.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Bye. All right. God bless you for your contribution. On our WhatsApp, we have Umokporo John Bosco from Ngbidi says, good morning, Barry and the erudite barrister. When truth goes on exile, when we polish pebble and darken diamond, the lopsidedness we experience in the North Nigerian state is what we get. Until the rotten tooth is removed, the mouth will continue to chew with caution. Thank you very much. Juju from Equator says, good morning, Barry. The guest, you are welcome, very intelligent. Barry, in fact, Nigeria is very big and large for one to govern. Are they bigger than America or Russia? Our political leaders rob Nigerians to develop other countries. Those countries are laughing at us. Killing Christians by Muslims will never stop in Nigeria. Finally, Barry, what is the duties of federal auditors and the EFCC in Nigeria? After ruling Nigeria or states, Joesu and other health workers are still on strike. Chai, Nigeria. Thank you very much, Juju. From Ikwere, architect OPZ Onwumere from Works Layout says, the Guruguru One Generalissimo International Barry Cosmos. Good morning, Barry. Nigeria is an aberration, a nightmare to the senses. Why are you laughing, Barry? How can one body have two heads existing in the same body? I don't know. I wonder. But Nigeria has been already Islamized. The arrogance and impunity and force these Islamic jihadists carry out and implement their policies shows us that Nigeria has already been Islamized. We are not surprised when Tinubu and Shetima are both Muslims. Every Christian should sit up and be on the alert to stop the brazen spread of Islamization, or they should divide this country and let the jihadists eat their religion. All right, this other one says, sweet morning once again, my eloquent and majestic Barry Cosmos. Well done, our studio guests. I haven't listened to what happened to the guests. I haven't listened to what happened to... Okay, I think I've read this one on Facebook. This one says, Ogabari, good morning. I love every of your topic this morning, but I will love to go for the AFCON saga. Kudos to the Senegalese. Well-deserved victory against the host nation. VAR, ref, even CAF. A brave, arrogant display by Senegalese gaffer. I love him for that. Victor Ihenacho from Trans-Egbu. God bless you, Victor. We have this one says, good morning, Barry. Happy New Week. My name is Felix Nwalzo, the taxi from Umayimberry. I totally agree with Governor Oti that his re-election is unstoppable. His good work is already speaking for him. And finally, I say big congratulations to the Teranga Lions of Senegal for beating Morocco. Thanks. All right, I realize that now Nigeria win. This team with Senegal win. The Nigerians found the happy about Senegal. Now, wow. All right, good morning, the Guru One on the only Radio Mashal. Happy New Week to you. God bless you. I just want to comment on the AFCON that was concluded yesterday. For me, I rooted for Senegal to win, and fate fashioned it that way. And about Chukwu is missing a penalty. Nigerians should stop all these blames. This is a competition where one team must win. After all, did JJ not miss a crucial penalty during Atlanta 96? That one, he fought for granted, even nearly faint. Olympics, when we needed it most, and after he gave out a big speech, afterwards we went on to win the tournament. Chukwueze shouldn't be crucified. Thank you. This is Franco from Imbieri. Have a nice day. Well, Nigerians should not crucify. It is not because he missed the penalty. It's the manner of how he took the penalty. It was like, I don't care whether I enter, I don't enter. After that, he started laughing and all those craziness. Nigerians did is forgive person for that.
Yes.
Go and ask Igwemi. After he missed that goal, since that day in career end. Well, Engineer Ebuka texting from Futo. Yeah, it's been a while. I listened to my Futo man. Ebuka, a very good morning and happy New Year, Barry Cosmo. I must congratulate Moroccans for losing their already planned victory against Nigeria and Senegal. Thank you very much. Nigerians are even happier than Senegalese.
Than Senegalese, yeah.
Oh, boy. That is very interesting. Okay. I think that's going to be our final message. Let's take our final caller for today. Uh-oh. Good morning, my last caller for today.
A gracious and a pleasant morning, dear Barry Cosmos.
I greet you, sir. Welcome aboard.
Very quickly, Chimeze Madu remains my name.
All right.
The issue of Sharia law. I want to inform the government to be very much active.
Okay.
This Sharia law is growing wings. The Nigerian government should stand tall and get this thing in the board. We are tired of all these manner of stories. Every time, Chimeze Madu is my name. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chimeze, for your contribution. All right, just before we go, let me make this announcement again. A man named Siri Chijoke lost his envelope containing many items yesterday along Mbise Road after fire service. Please, the items includes ECOWAS passport, driving license, NIN card, motorcycle documents. Please, if seen, they should call. Anybody that has seen that envelope, please call Chijoke on 0913-203-7714, or you bring it to Echo FM for onward dispatch to that. And also, Oje Zorobodo is heading to Umuakane or Hajegbema on the 24th of January. So please, Umuakane community, get ready for Oje Zorobodo. And that's it for today. Thank you very much for being part of the program. Barrister, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
All right. That's our show for today. My name is Barry Cosmas, and I'll be signing out now. Up next is the Slim Diva with Health Revolution. Oh, yeah? We don't give the headache, Abby. We don't give the headache. I can take Panadol from the Slim Diva. Bye-bye for now.